Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hey, congratulations on winning another judgment. This time, not a League of Girls judgment, but
One with boys.
I know, and you kicked some boys' butts. So did you? So I have to ask right off the bat: did you and Swift One have like a little, like, truce where he was going to go Teemo and you were going to play Darius in the top lane against him?
No, I did. Well, I talked to him. Sorry, my grandma's in the room. But I talked to him before, and he was like, "I hope we go against each other." Da da. And I was like, "Okay." And like during the game, like we're doing fine and all. And then I typed to him, and I was like, "Give me some more rice buns." Boy, was I wrong. And I kind of like fed him up at top because I ate too many rice buns.
You did. It was looking really good for you, and then
Yeah.
there was the poetic moment where like you kind of like traded with him, and you went to run away, and you ran right over a mushroom, and he threw like one dart at you and killed you. Like that was a good
Yeah.
time. So Darius in the top lane. This is like is that the only thing you play in top lane?
Well, before, like a while ago, my top three used to be, um, Sona, Annie, Irelia. So I used to play Irelia a lot, and then I found out, that Darius was pretty easy too. So kind of like Irelia, how it's like three buttons. I don't know, like the way that you play, because I used to play Irelia a lot, and it's like a kind of similar style in a way. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you. I get you.
And it was just really fun. So, yeah.
How did your team fare? I mean, did you feel really did you feel really confident in how your first pick overall turned out?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was really happy with the pick. To be honest though, we didn't actually even get to team practice. Like our first game was our actual first game together too, which was really funny. But I guess like we just communicated, and then I guess that's how we won. Like we kept talking to each other, telling each other like, we need to do this or we're gonna invade, and communication is really the key, to be honest.
Yeah. So we saw your second game. We saw your second game, or the championship game, obviously.
Mhm.
The first game, did you guys start 5-0 in that one too, or like? Because all your games you started like 8-0.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
did the first
I
game was the first game that much? Because when I looked at it on paper, I was like, oh, Vertebreaker was really good at the live LAN we had at EOS. Like, surely this is gonna be like a pretty good team. And Breeze Air picked your team, and I was like, oh yeah, like I mean, I can see it, but like I think the Vertebreaker team's gonna be better than it was on paper. Like, how did that game go? Because I didn't get a chance to see it.
it went okay. I was kind of losing at first, but then like it just got ganks off, and then just kind of like farmed and try to keep up with him. And then like the rest of the team did really well. Our Morgana was really really good, and then just like bot lane, there were some few deaths here and there, but they weren't really big. So overall, our team we didn't really die as much, but we died less in like our game two where we rarely died at all, and then game three. So I would say our first game was
One of the
more
most
tough.
shaky games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably because it was our first game together, but it was more tough than our second game.
Well,
So
your second game was just like I don't like I've never seen a
yeah,
team that far ahead sub 20 minutes. Like I thought you were gonna win like under 20 minutes. Like
yeah.
that's how on a roll your team was. Plus, did they give Kuniv Lee Sin game 1 too?
No, they did not. They
So
gave them
like
Skarner.
clearly Claymore and crew did not know of the Lee Sin because
Yeah,
they just walked right into that one.
yeah, for sure.
Although I mean, talk about Kuniv because he actually played really good jungle. Game two obviously was Lee Sin because
Mhm.
he's good at that.
Yeah,
But
that's his main.
his Skarner game two, he had
Was really good too.
he outsmited Long Lee like 3 times. He outsmited him at the beginning for the blue buff. He outsmited him on a dragon. He outsmited him on Baron, obviously, but you guys had so much control over that. I mean, I don't blame Long Lee for that. But the first two, at least the very first one, like that really set you guys up because not only did you get the first blood, but even when they spent all that effort to come back in and try to zone you guys out, like you were still able to get that smite. And I think putting a player like Long Lee, that's like a 2600 player, that's obviously a like really well known, has played so many games, to get him to like nervous to the point where he like smites early. I mean, that's actually pretty impressive.
Misfight. Yeah.
So I'm sure you've actually been pretty happy with him as a pick at least. So talk about the rest of your members because who, because you had who was your mid again?
His name is Synchronize. He was just a friend that someone recommended because like it was like past 7 and we're like we don't have a mid, and then we're just like get anyone. So then we just got him, and then Creepingdose was already one of my friends, and he said that he would just support. So, yep, that's pretty much how our team got together. And then Kuniv and I can't say his name. Altaru, yeah, were the ones that I picked from the original start. It's pretty. I don't know. I wish the other people would have showed up. It would have been nice, but I guess sometimes some people don't show up.
Yeah, I mean, that is an unfortunate part of this, is that sometimes people decide that, like, they want to join this tournament and they don't want to make time. But, I mean, stuff does come up. I know originally we had a bunch of Canadian players that signed up on the original list. I mean, they didn't get drafted, but they signed up originally, and then they found out they had some event that took away. Bishu didn't show up for his team. He had to take SATs or something. But that team actually ended up pretty good. Actually, I mean, they had Roshan Now's team on the ropes for a little bit, I felt like. Roshan now was able to pull it back off. So, what do you think? So, you've won your second judgment now. What do you think is, you were talking about communication is really key, but what do you think is like the most important thing to be successful in judgment, to win judgment tournaments? In your opinion?
Well, it kind of has to go back to communication, but I guess like as long as like everyone wins their lanes and then everyone like makes good plays and like you communicate, like if you decide when to do this and when to do that, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna push the lane and I'll be mid and that type of thing, I think that's how you really win judgments, because it's just the way that you talk. Like if all you say and the whole time is like top Mia and like you don't really communicate and stuff, I feel like it's kind of hard to win because you really need to communicate and like really work as a team to win. So I mean, that's what, out of the judgments that I won, that's basically how we've been doing it. Like just making plays and making calls. So yeah.
So does everybody just kind of make calls as they see them, or do you have one person that kind of makes calls, or?
Well, we've all kind of like. Well, Kuniv made a lot of the calls, and then I've made a lot of the calls. I'm just like, oh, keep going, or back out. And then, like, it depends on who's in the fight or around there. Like, if I'm at top and everyone else is bot, of course I'm not going to be, like, paying attention to them and making the calls for them,
Yeah.
So Kuniv would make the call and so on. So we pretty much...
And then Altec would just always split push a lane and kill it.
Yeah.
So, all right, awesome. So, do you have an MVP for your team?
I'm not too sure because I wasn't really paying attention to other lanes because I was really focusing on my lane. But you know what's really funny? I was really surprised that Alley Cat picked up Irelia when I just got finished like playing against Irelia in the first game.
What about Irelia?
Like, when I went against Vertebreaker, he picked Irelia, and then, like, I won my lane. And then, like, I was just surprised that she picked Irelia again after, like, I just played.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think looking at the player history is also, like, I mean, obviously a lot of people do it. I was almost talking about during your game that some of you guys should, like start, like, throwing deaths in order to, like, pull people off your scent, so like people don't ban your champions. But
yeah, but I guess they not. 3 of our people on our team played the same character the whole time.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
The
so
I don't.
And Darius.
Yeah, and
or
Morgana.
Was Morgana every time? Okay, yeah.
I was just I don't know why they didn't ban out Morgana or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Morgana probably would have been a good ban if I had looked at the history. Although, I mean, like, I don't think, unless you have a lot of information, like, there's a lot of AP mids that can be played, but Morgana's obviously like safe and annoying. Is why I'd maybe throw a ban her way. But like Altec, like as good as his Sivir is, like his Sivir is really fantastic. Like he knows it very, very well. But really, if you like ban out Sivir, like he just goes to one of other like many really good AD champions and then still kicks your butt. So it's like banning him out's really not like worthwhile. I mean, maybe I'd throw some bans your way if I knew how limited your top was, but overall, like,
Well,
it's
it's
really
only a couple characters,
Yeah, I
so I mean,
yeah, hot
yeah.
shot GGU.
Yeah. Well, is it okay if I bring my team in? Because I think they want to just say hi or
Yeah,
something.
sure, do it.
Yeah. If I can
Family
get
time.
this to work.
Family time.
Um, okay. Pulling people in.
Oh, the cute pig boots.
There goes Kuniv. Where's this guy?
Ah, the team is in. The team is in.
Is it
I
Dan
am
the Man,
here.
aka Creepingdose?
Yeah.
Derek Kuniv Rich?
Hey.
Derek, game 2, someone decided to give you Lee Sin for some reason. Rich?
I didn't expect it, to be honest, but I will take it anytime I can, whether it fits the team comp or not.
Who called Altec, man? My back really hurts.
Oh, sorry. You had to carry me.
Johnny, Altec, play Sivir all day, push every lane, Rue?
Yeah. I lag in team fights, so I just split push.
Is that the secret? Is that why you play the way you do? Is that you lag in team fights, so you just you're like, okay, you guys 4v5, I'm just gonna split push a turret because I won't lag. Is that really why?
Yeah, that was part of our game plan, actually. That's why we had Morgana and stuff, so that while he's lagging, he just actually auto hits and runs, and they can't actually attack him because they're too busy running.
Oh, it's a bold strategy. So,
And then obviously the professional Sona ults that can't be stopped.
well, clearly, I actually called myself out because I called one of your Sona ults good, but it was just like a standard alt onto Longli, and you picked it up at the end of the game. I was like, because I caught myself, because like great Sona alt, and then I was like, it's just it's an okay Sona alt. Like it was there, it would happen. There's no real like.
There was a couple times where I got my signature flash Sona ults in.
The signature flash ults. Well, there was one point where I think in that last game, I saw you guys were running away bottom lane after pushing them, and like Soraka flashed after you, and I was like trying to find out like, what a Soraka would do if she flashed out.
Yeah, I started screaming over vent that the bananas are coming and all sorts of things. She's going bananas because I was scared.
So guys, obviously you guys had a great tournament. How do you feel, especially you, Kuniv, now that you were highly unsuccessful in all the first judgment, and now you're arguably one of the most successful judgment players? How's it feel to be on top?
It feels really good, especially when I get a jungle against all these really high ELO people with more experience. It's just nice that I can go head to head with them. So it's fun, but it's a learning experience, and I'm trying to get better and raise my ELO. So most of all, it's just nice to go against everyone.
So is there anything you learned tonight playing against people that you could take to other play that you've done? Future play?
Being aggressive without them knowing it can be really useful, I found. But also just early oracles is always so useful. I mean, just level 1 team fights that you put off like really well together can change the entire game in your favor. And I think we focused on that in those second 2 games we played. We tried the first time, but I kind of blew it for us. But the other thing is just getting on oracles, and the vision's just too important. And they weren't able to kill me, so we had vision of the whole map. And also, it was nice that Longley didn't know how to smite today.
Yeah, that was actually because I noted like you basically outsmited him like 3 different times in that game. But the main one was like the blue buff at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
and you outsmited him on a dragon as well. Like it was just not his day. Like he was definitely.
Yeah, I was just being really patient this game.
So
brought it today.
So for the level 1 team fights, I know in that last game you were able to catch out Roshan Now and his team. Who was calling where to go for that level
I
one
did
team
for
fight?
that one. I was watching the game before that since we got done with ours right when they started, and I noticed since they're going against Blitzcrank, they warded to the left of blue buff,
Uh-huh.
and so I thought instead of going like through that path or red. Also, I noticed that none of them were at blue. They were all in the mid lane. I thought they might do the same thing this time, so I figured they're gonna ward that bush, and then we can just sneak in below and go up right through blue. But I was actually wrong, but it paid off because they
Sorry,
were
my
trying to
fans
invade
are
us,
showing up.
and we just ended up catching them. So I guess I had a thought, and it was wrong, but it turned out okay.
It turned out working out pretty well because when you stumbled upon them in that situation because they had 2 high around the corner and then 3 in that bush, like they kind of almost like split themselves, and then
Yeah, that
obviously
their level 1 wasn't as strong as ours, so we could kind of bully them around. They blew all their flashes like way before us, so when they kept like defending their blue buff, we just were able to win.
yeah, pretty impressive. So any other big standout plays? Because I know I got to cast your game 2, your obviously your championship game. But any standout plays from game 1? Any cool stuff you did that I wasn't able to catch, or that people that if they go back and look at your game 1 in the YouTube, VODs can
I
go.
played just an average game that game,
I
but
think
there was
pretty much. I'm sorry. Pretty much every game we just played standard and really just made all the right calls. We all didn't lose our lanes or anything like that. If we knew that we could lose our lane, we made sure that that person played correctly, passive or aggressive when needed, and we just took it to every team. And we also knew that when we were stronger level 1, we did invade, I think, every game. So, and I think we were able to get a kill. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can start off with a level 1 kill, it's like huge, just snowballs everything. Especially when the master of stealing the level 1 kill, Johnny Eltec Rue, is in the house.
I also noticed that it made it really easy because every single one of my lanes was winning. So that's like the jungler's dream.
And then
Instead
no
of
one
just
can
running
yell at
around.
you for them losing their lane. They just won their lane, and then you can just like bask in the glory of just like running around at any lane, and any jungle part. Like,
Yeah, we didn't really.
Solo queue, because in solo queue I just run around applying band-aids to whatever lane's losing, trying desperately to keep it together. But when everyone's just getting first bloods, and kills in their lane, and I'm just running around killing wards, it's really easy. So.
yeah, it's one of the most leisure cruiseway skarners I'm sure you've experienced in quite a while. Like all my lanes are winning. I just get to level up to 6. All right, that's cool.
Exactly. That's the best thing you can do as Skarner is just get to 6 fast, clear wards, and then ult whenever you can.
Yeah, I even noticed at one point you were double the CS of Long Lee at 1.2 as well.
I've played against them 3 times now, and I've won all of them.
So clearly you are Long Lee's kryptonite. You're calling him out.
I don't know. His judgment teams at the EOS weren't very low inflated.
I'd also like to add that Sona is probably the easiest and most overpowered support in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Riot's probably going to be nerfing her shortly. But the main problem too is like her ult, like it's so integral to what she is that I mean, Riot's even commented on this too. It's like they know it was a mistake to give her that ult, but then now they can't really change it. So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just started playing her actually like yesterday, I think, in solo queue and stuff, and I was like, wow, I don't know, I haven't played this.
Well, when she first came out, it was even more ridiculous. Like you literally just like the way her abilities work, you literally just smashed your face against the keyboard for like 25 minutes, and then you won a game of League of Legends. That's really what happened. Like none of her, they're like all the cool, like basically you just constantly spam her spells all the time. So you would literally just mash the keys, and there was like no drawback to it. And that was old Sona, and that was basically what you would put everybody on because you're like, just go do this, just go mash your keys. Anybody can play it. Your girlfriend, your dog can play it. Like, it's all good. Maybe your pig in really cute boots can play it. Whatever you say.
Shout out to John, my brother.
So then I asked Karen earlier who you guys' MVP was. Do you guys have a consensus MVP?
Yeah, I like to
the
vote
group two?
MVP for myself because I was just the biggest communicator, and I usually made all the late game calls. Made all the calls.
Those Sonya double kills.
Yup. Got like 4 of this.
Well, it's funny too because there's 1.2 where you stole the double, or basically you didn't steal, you secured the double kill from Kuniv's Lee Sin.
Oh, yeah. No, those were steals.
So you guys don't have MVP, just your team is just gonna kumbaya and.
I don't know. I guess not. Our mid actually didn't have a mic or something. Didn't want to talk, so he actually didn't communicate. He just played really well and
He just
made
went
big
emo
plays.
and.
Yeah.
That's actually where Bishu went. He went to play
It was
mid for you.
me.
He didn't show up
Yeah.
for his own team. Just like, I'm gonna play for these guys. All right, well, guys, thanks for joining me, and congratulations again on
Yeah.
winning the Judgment EOS Championship.
Yay!
Pretty stellar
Yay.
performance. I mean, I commented quite a few times during those games. It's probably one of the better Judgment teams it's ever been. Like, not just necessarily just like looking at, but like that, what you guys actually turned out in your games, not necessarily like on paper.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the better performances because I don't think I've ever seen that many games where you just like teams that I thought would be pretty competitive just didn't look competitive because you guys were like 8-0 like 11 minutes into the game.
Yeah, we just made big plays.
Yeah. So again, thanks. Any shout outs you guys want to do before we sign off here?
Shout out to Matt, John, my brother and friend, and shout out to Josh Squeakers, PG Squeakers, and I don't know who else. And Michael Kurtz, Deca. Shout out to him.
Got a shout out to Shorter Ace because his Lee Sin is just as good as mine.
And his Cho'Gath is 5 times as bad.
Oh.
Okay, I want to give a shout out. I'll give a shout out to Esterbot because she was sad about her first game. So our second game was for her, and then yeah, we
The
won that game
revenge?
for her. Yeah, for them because she said that they were talking shit. So
Oh,
you know,
oh,
we had to
Ooh.
dominate them.
His
for
team's
her.
run rogue.
Oh, I almost felt bad for destroying them now. Oh.
Yeah, and then I'll give a shout out to Keith because he's really been helping me with top and like kind of showing me what to do since he mains top. So I think top's probably gonna be what I main next. So yeah,
No more Morgana for you. You're all about the dares.
yeah. I'm always in a phase. Have you noticed that? Like my Annie phase and then my like, like I'm always switching around to playing only one person forever.
I mean, that's kind of how I do too. I mean, I've had.
Yeah.
Karen
I have-
kept asking for mid. I kept denying it.
I said I wanted
I'm
to
gonna be
Eve
honest.
mid. What is wrong with Eve mid? Tell me.
Listen, Karen, I just wasn't gonna happen. All right.
Okay.
You saw how the opponent's Eve mid worked out. Didn't work out good.
I didn't actually see that game, or I don't think.
Yeah,
I did.
that game did not work out very well. But anyways, yeah, thanks again, guys, and congratulations on winning.
Have a good one.
Okie dokie.
Boner Lord out.
Bye.